Hey folks, sorry I'm just a couple minutes late, but yeah, just want to do a little live stream here today. Figured, you know, my afternoon's not too busy, and just wanted to do a live stream. I haven't done it in a while, and I know the past couple of a lot of my live streams have been here in my backyard, you know, just going around talking, looking at different plants, different palms, talking about them. But I do hope to do a live stream at some point soon, maybe from the National Mall. The National Mall is probably the best place to do it in DC, like palm and exotic plant wise, and then maybe also the Arboretum. They're both really great places, and the Arboretum, even though it's like more remote, great signal there too. DC's got some good internet signal. Maybe it's for all the Congress people and the president, I don't know why, but pretty much everywhere in DC has great internet signal, so that's really great. And yeah, everything is it's going well, garden wise, life wise, everything's going pretty well. Yeah, I can't complain. Everything, maybe I'll be able to complain after winter, who knows, but I can't complain right now. Everything looks great, and everything's doing really well. I'm just really happy to report that. But yeah, I do hope to actually do a live stream from maybe like a, you know, a different location at some point, maybe the National Mall or something like that, because there are some great palmy places to do live streams from in DC. You know, like yesterday, I just went and, you know, I was driving to, you know, you guys may have seen that video on that huge trackie in Arlington. That thing was just nuts. It felt like I was in like when I was in Columbia, South Carolina. Just the home and everything reminded me of Columbia, South Carolina, with like, they have huge trackies like that there. And I sort of had to, like, you know, step back for a moment and realize I'm right here in the DC area, because that trackie was nuts. It's like, that's one of the biggest ones ever grown in the DC area. I mean, it's really crazy. It's been there for a long time. I spoke to the owner. She said it had been there 6 years, which is, I don't know, she must have just not known, because I checked on like Google Maps and everything. It's definitely been there a lot longer. I think it's been there at least like 15 years, maybe 20. But yeah, that trackie's been there a while. I need to correct something in my video. Correct what I said. I said it had never been protected. It's never wrapped or anything, and I don't think it ever had been, even like they'd ever done anything to it before like the past couple of years, because the other one actually died, because I don't think they were ever protected. But I did see sort of these cables around the trunks. They do use like heater cables in the winter on it, but that's just like basically C9 Christmas lights type, you know, provides a little heat to the trunk, but they don't wrap it, they don't box it in. There's none of that deal. As long as you use heater cables, C9 Christmas lights, those things are pretty much bulletproof here. So I should revise that. I didn't realize they'd do that, but they've only been doing that in the past couple of years. Before that, I don't believe they ever did that, because the other one was, unfortunately, they had another large trackie that was taken out, I think in 2013, the bad winter. Igni, hey, great to see you in here. How are things? You're in the north of France, right? You guys have a great climate there. France just has some incredible, I mean, the entire country of France has, you know, mainland France and, you know, all the islands and everything. Just the climate there is incredible. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you're in northern France. Southwest Island Rainforest. My friend Dara, how are you? Good to see you in here. How's the weather, by the way? I don't know what it is. It's got to be around like 60 Fahrenheit right now. It's 60 Fahrenheit's not too cold, actually. It's we're supposed to have a high, I think on Friday, it's supposed to be a high of 54, or a low of 54 and a high of 66, so that's pretty warm. Otherwise the lows are like in the 40s or even like 39. But yeah, that day where it was 33, looks like we're done with that for maybe a week or two. Then it'll probably start dipping back down at some point. But yeah, great to see you guys in here. My Musa are freeze. Igni, I'm sorry to hear that. Are they already frozen? Are you, because the north of France, it depends on the species, I guess, because Musa Baju, in a climate like this, which is pretty much colder than anywhere in France, besides like in the high mountains where we are right now, the moose are all still big and green, all the Musa Baju, that is. But yeah, they shouldn't be freezing for a while, or not a while, but for probably a couple weeks, maybe a month. But yeah, you must be talking about like a Musa acuminata or some other species. But yeah, that's I guess that's just part of life. But yeah, it's always sad to see them go, but you know, come spring, I always love seeing those Musa shoots pop up. And I'm ashamed to say I don't have any Musa species. They're very common here. Musa Baju is incredibly common. There are 3 just on my street, but they're incredibly rare in garden centers around here. It's like needle palms. They're not common, but needle palms and dwarf palmetto, you'll see them around the city, but I don't know where people get them from, because they're incredibly rare around here. My Puncha humifusa, this thing, I'm gonna be careful where I step here. There's tons of palm seedlings in here, but this thing's starting to rot up it fell over and I didn't realize it. So the bottom pad rotted away, and then you can see that top pad there. It's probably done for too. Maybe I'll stick that pad back in and see if it can grow. But yep, 10 Celsius. That's awesome. So what is that like? Is that like 55 Fahrenheit, something like that? Yeah, it's probably like 12 Celsius here, 13 maybe. I don't know. Yeah, 10 Celsius. That's pretty good weather for this time of year. Not bad, Dara. That's awesome. Joseph's Animations. Great to see you in here, by the way. I saw you commenting on my videos, and yeah, it's great to see you in here. I saw what you said at the Bald Cypress, and you're so lucky. Yeah, you're in the Dallas area, right? Because Dallas has, it's amazing what grows in Dallas. Dallas is like, I think, one of the most interesting climate and sort of geographical areas in the country, just for the fact that you have like, to the east, you have like all these bald cypress swamps. It's like a subtropical climate. You have all these like moist subtropical climates where you have dwarf palmetto and everything growing all around Dallas and even to the north. And then just to like the west of Dallas, you have like what sort of starts to become this semi-arid, like almost prairie. It's like the start of the Great Plains, basically. So it's really interesting mix of like, you have all these cacti and all these yucca and all these like desert and like semi-arid species mixing with all the, you know, subtropical species from the east. So it's sort of like the meeting place of the Great Plains and the subtropics of the southeast. I think Dallas is so interesting, like the climates there. Unfortunately, the freeze is really sad, but hopefully the palms are recovering and people are planting more. But there are still some big Washingtonia foliifera there in Dallas. I don't think any of the Robusta made it, but there's some big palms there. It's really awesome. But yeah, I'm glad to hear it's a nice day there. I bet it's warmer than here. I bet it's like 65 Fahrenheit or something like that. They are just defoliated because of 30 Fahrenheit. Wow, Jesus, that's cold for where you are. It hasn't gotten to 30 yet. I think 32 or 33 is the lowest we've gotten so far. So like less than 1 Celsius, like 0 Celsius is about the lowest we've gotten so far. 30 Fahrenheit, that's cold for northern France. You got a Norway spruce. Yeah, I saw your Norway spruce. That's awesome. We have a lot of Norway spruce here. Norway spruce have actually naturalized. I know they've naturalized, I think, in Ireland, definitely in Britain. They're native west of Britain. And then they've actually naturalized in the US. I've seen naturalized populations just driving in rural areas. People plant a lot of Norway spruce. You can see them naturalized all over. They're super cool trees. And that's really awesome. Yeah. They're very hardy. They're great trees. And yeah, cordyline red star. That's awesome. I wouldn't plant one here because they can't survive. I really wish I could though, because you're so lucky you can grow them in Ireland. Ireland is such a nice mild climate. Yeah, we can't grow them here. So interesting to see that cordyline, which is the next block over. I wonder what they're going to do with it, because I don't, I've never heard of one surviving without at least mild protection here. Excuse me. But that's awesome, Dara. Cat 631K. I just hope for a nice winter here. Yeah, I hope for a nice winter here and there as well. So my trachea and dwarf palmetto can establish. Yes, definitely. Same with me. My tracheas, this one was here through last winter, made it fine. Everything else was planted after. I don't need to worry about dwarf palmetto and needle palms. They're fine no matter how cold it gets. Tracheas are a little on the fringe, so we're gonna have to see. I'm hoping for a mild winter, but I'm gonna put some leaf litter around them, maybe put some mulch. And these have been here pretty much the entire growing season. They're planted in March, so they're basically established, but they're young palms, so I do want to put a little leaf litter and mulch around them just to give them a little help. And I'll show you guys all the seedlings here. There's tons of dwarf palmetto seedlings there that I scattered around, which shows that the scattering method that I use totally works. If you guys are, wherever you are, especially in more northern climates, if you can get your hands on some dwarf palmetto seed. I mean, obviously if you try to germinate it, that's good, but there's so much dwarf palmetto seed on the National Mall from the palms there that I just grab whole hunks of them, and there's still so much there that I'm going to collect. And I just scatter them around. I scatter them in the woods. Check out my most recent video. I think it's my most recent video of me scattering the dwarf palmetto seed around at Theodore Roosevelt Island, because it's the super cool marshy area, and it's certainly going to naturalize there. No one rips out the weeds there, and that's not really a weed, but they do have a lot of invasive species there. But yeah, it'll take a little while, probably at least a year, to actually notice palms coming up. But got to start at some point, so I'm really excited about that. Cat 631K, where are you, by the way? What if you're saying you need your tracheas to become established, I'm guessing you're in a more northern location. Are you in the US or Canada somewhere? Where are you? I like to know where people are, know the climates and everything, because it's always great to talk about that. Joseph's Animations, Dallas Fort Worth. We have bald cypress trees that are like 50. Yeah, we have those here too. Even the naturalized ones. Check out my most recent video on me scattering the palm seeds around on that island in the Potomac River right near. It's in DC. There's like naturalized bald cypress there. There's probably about 100 naturalized bald cypress. The swamp there is filled with them, and you actually there's actually a ton of young ones also that are coming up. There's some that are there that are like probably closing in on 80 feet. There's really tall bald cypress there, and these are naturalized. There's some planted bald cypress here that are got to be nearing like 90, 100 feet. Yeah, they're awesome trees. They're deciduous conifers, which is super interesting. But I think they look cool even in winter without their needles. They still retain that classic, organized like Christmas tree conifer shape, which I think is just super cool. I love bald cypress. They're naturalized even in the forest at my local park along the stream. They're naturalized all over the place here, and they're native like an hour away. So they're practically native species. They're returning natives, just like dwarf palmetto. All right, and there is 40 Fahrenheit. Wow. You're saying it's 40 Fahrenheit there now? That's cold. Maybe, are you more inland? Because on the coast of France, I really doubt it's gotten to 30 Fahrenheit. Maybe, I don't know. But the coast of France, that's like south of Cornwall, south of England. You got like huge Phoenix canariensis and Washingtonia there. So you must be more further inland in France. Because it does get colder inland. Maybe towards Belgium or something. I don't know. Where exactly in France are you? One day is supposed to be 70 degrees. The next two others. Wow. That's warm. Wow, where are you, Cat 631K? Lows in the 50s. Okay, that's not bad at all. It's like warmer than here. At the entrance of our property, there's this 3 6-foot, wow, 6-foot cordy lines. God, that's a dream. I love cordy lines. They're super cool, very palm-like, and people mistake them for palms a lot. They're not palms, but they are super cool plants and really great, incredibly exotic looking. That's just really awesome, yeah. They're probably naturalized in Ireland. I think they've naturalized in the south of England. Sort of like Trachycarpus a little bit. That's really awesome. South Delaware. Oh, okay, yeah. Have you commented on here? I know you've commented on my videos, but I don't know if I've seen you in my live stream before, because I was talking to someone else in South Delaware, talking about the palms there. There's some cool, pretty big windmills there. I've seen pictures of some sable minor outside of a library. Even some sable palmettos, someone said, were planted like outside of like a restaurant or something that have survived so far for a couple winters unprotected. Yeah, if I were in South Delaware, I'd try a sable palmetto. I'm going to be trying them here. I have a bunch in a pot that I'm going to plant after the winter. I was going to plant them before the winter, but they were so young that, they wouldn't have time to become established. So I'm just going to be safe, wait till after winter, give them a whole growing season to become established. And by that point, they'll probably be like, 8 inches tall or something. So they'll have a good chance. Sable palmetto have survived here for several winters unprotected. I've seen huge ones that were transplanted. They survived for a couple winters, I think 2 winters, and then they were killed. But yeah, they were transplanted as mature specimens. So, grown from seed, probably a bit hardier. And the seed that I have is from Virginia Beach. That's like the hardiest palmetto seed you can possibly get. Because that's like pretty much the northernmost place you'll find palmettos growing. And they've naturalized like on the boardwalk there. It's super cool. Really awesome. But yeah, South Delaware is like probably a little bit warmer than here in terms of the climate. I mean, like Ocean City's a little warmer. Yeah, you guys are probably a little warmer. Trackies are a little more on the bulletproof side there, I'd say. That's really, really awesome though, yeah. At home, the Trachycarpus are invasive. Really? I don't know if they're invasive, but they've at least naturalized all over, like in the Alps and Switzerland. It's so interesting. Like, people think of these classic cold snow-capped peaks, and it's like, oh yeah, you have palm trees naturalized up in the mountains there. But that's really interesting. I know they've naturalized in France, naturalized in Switzerland, Italy. I didn't know they were considered invasive, though. I knew they were at least considered, they were naturalized, but that's really interesting. Wow. They're all over the place. Sables. Are you saying sables are invasive? I didn't even know there were... Because I know sables are incredibly rare in Europe. I can't believe that they're invasive. That's crazy. I picked up a bunch of sable minor seeds from this huge grove of palms. Wow, that is a dream. Joseph's Animations. That's what I want to create in the forests and marshes here at some point. That is so cool. That is so cool. I live on the Atlantic coast. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I can't believe it's gotten to 30 Fahrenheit there. You must be like zone in like USDA. That must be like zone 9A or something. It's warm. It's really warm there. That's so cool. Yeah, I've commented on a few videos. Yeah, I've seen your comments, exactly. That's awesome. And by the way, guys, is the quality okay? I hope the video quality, my camera, I was hiking. You guys may have seen my videos when I was out in the Channel Islands in California. It was so cool. It was amazing, but it was such a windy place, and windiest place I've ever been by far. It was like probably like 60 degrees out, and it felt like it was like 45. It was like the wind was so strong because you're up on like hiking on no trees anywhere. You're hiking up on an exposed 500-foot cliff face. So I dropped my phone, thankfully not off the cliff, but I dropped it, and somehow the camera just perfectly hit the rock on the hiking trail and the lens shattered. So I took some needle nose pliers, and I got all the broken glass out because the glass was actually obstructing the camera's view, but now the lens here is just exposed. And unfortunately, when I try to take a picture in full sun, you guys may be able to see it there, but when I try to take a picture towards the sun in a little bit, it's okay here, but a lot of the pictures I've taken recently, just the quality's really bad when you have the sunlight shining on it because it's just an exposed camera and the lens is cracked and everything. So maybe I'll have to get the lens repaired at some point or get a new phone. I really don't want to, but that's really sad. But my camera is I use it for everything, pictures, especially of palms, videos, everything. So I kind of need it, at least for my interests. So that's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, it is what it is, and I'll have to get it fixed if it gets worse. But yeah, I hope that's all right. But yeah, anyways, one of the cordylines, there's pups near the mother plant. That's awesome, Dara. That's so cool. Yeah, cordylines are everywhere in Ireland. I've seen huge ones. But yeah, I hope the quality's okay, and I hope the audio quality's okay, because sometimes it lags a little when I get further from the house, but the house is right there, so I'm good. It should be good. There's my prized eastern hemlocks. I actually started a little side thing, treating eastern hemlocks for the hemlock woolly adelgid, which has been killing them. And yeah, I've only treated one so far. I treated this one person's house. They have 4 hemlocks there, so I've treated them, and I'm still figuring out the pricing system and if it's actually economically viable. But yeah, a lot of them have been dying here. It's really sad, but ours were previously treated. But yeah, if you have eastern hemlocks and you're in the eastern U.S., if you have really any hemlock and you're in the eastern U.S., you should think about getting it treated, or at least look at your location, because most of the range, if you're pretty much anywhere in the eastern U.S. and you have a hemlock, there's a good chance it's been affected by hemlock woolly adelgid, or there's adelgid in the area. So yeah, it's an invasive insect from Asia that there's no natural predators here, so it just kills all the hemlocks. It's really sad, and the forests here have just been devastated. Not so much here. There's not actually as many hemlock stands here, but those that are here are very endangered, which is really sad. They've been treating them, which is good. It's good to see. Those sables are still doing great. Really want to try one. Oh, yeah. You need to. Yeah, sable minor, bulletproof there. Sable palmetto, I'd say, are marginal where you are, but definitely worth a try. If you go south, if you're in Virginia Beach or somewhere, they're really common to find. Go to a palm nursery or something. Go to Pungo Palms if you're in Virginia Beach. That's where I got these 3 palms. I got my other dwarf palmetto, about the same size as that one. I got my needle palm there. That place has everything. And if I go back, and I'm kind of regretting not getting one, but if I go back, I'm going to get a salt palmetto, Sereno repens, because they're hardy palms. There were some huge ones. I saw 10 Sereno repens just driving by when I was in Virginia Beach. I was shocked. And they're bulletproof there, and they're pretty bulletproof here. I've heard of one that was tried at the Botanic Garden. I have no idea if it's still there. The Botanic Garden is still closed, so when it opens back up, I'm going to go back and check, but they're pretty bulletproof here. I've seen pictures of huge ones in Arkansas, unprotected, in Little Rock area. And yeah, also Nanoropes, the guy in Pungo Palms, he has a little Nanoropes Richiana that looks okay. I think they're awesome looking palms, but his was just a little small, but yeah, I'd be interested in trying one. I don't know how hardy they are here, because they're less wet tolerant, but they are very hardy. Almost all hardy palms can become invasive in my house, at least now. Yes, exactly. On this property, palms can become invasive, but no, I mean, they're certainly not invasive. I mean, look at everyone's, I love how people say, oh, palms don't belong here. Oh, somehow people say they're worried about them becoming invasive or something. It's look at your yard. Look at everyone's yard in this neighborhood. The number of actual native trees planted in the yard is less than half. All these hollies, non-native, English holly, all that stuff. Some of the maples are native. Hemlocks are native to the area. Southern magnolia is not native, but I love southern magnolia. A lot of these other trees are not native. Birch, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, most of these plants aren't native. So it's people want to say don't plant palms. They don't belong here. Well, then you should get rid of all your hydrangeas, all that stuff. Figs, they don't belong here, but they make the landscape look good, especially the palms. Anyways, yeah. Did the Bismarckia? Yeah, the Bismarckia, I think it was either already dead or I didn't care for it well. The stump's like still there. I need to remove it and just like chuck it or something. I don't know, throw it in the woods or something. But yeah, Bismarckia, I didn't. I don't know what happened. I forgot to use. I didn't use the peroxide on it very much. And yeah, I was, it was still. I don't know if it was still alive at that point because it had been there for a while. My guess is like spider mites or something like that, because I remember seeing that same palm like a few months before I bought it, and it was super healthy. And they definitely had recently acquired it. So, and it was the thing about Bismarckia. These people don't know anything about palms at the local nursery. I don't mean to insult them. I'm just saying, they really don't, because this Bismarckia is a dry climate palm, and they're keeping it in this incredibly humid, incredibly moist greenhouse where they have obviously all the tropical plants like majesty palms, all that stuff. And of course, you have all that moisture. You're going to get rot. Actually, I don't think it was spider mites so much as it would have been rot, now that I think about it. But yeah, that's, they didn't know what they're doing, but that's okay. It was either already dead or it did die, but that's a good question. And I should have updated you guys. But yeah, it's a good question. Unfortunately, it died. I mean, I got it for free. I was just like, what are you going to do with it? They said they're going to throw it away. They gave it to me. I took it home in a bag. And yeah, the roots were already like completely sort of broken. My guess is it was already dead. And, I suspected that a little bit from the beginning. I wasn't, obviously I wasn't sure. I wanted to try to save it, but yeah, didn't make it. Obviously, I'd have to have brought it inside by now. It would probably already be dead from those 33 Fahrenheit nights. There's some large pindo. Really? Where in Bethany? Huh. That's really interesting. Are they like on the waterfront or something? Large pindos, because just like palmettos, I would think this would be more marginal there, but that is really interesting. You should make a video on that, Cat 631K. I really want to see that. They are beautiful. I really like them. I've heard some people say they don't like them as much. I think they're really awesome. I love pinto palms. Yeah, that's really interesting. They must be new, or are they? I don't know. Eucalyptus gunnii is huge. That's awesome, Daria. Your eucalyptus are really big. My Eucalyptus cinerea has grown a lot. The two species I need are gunnii and neglecta. I really need those. And I'm going to show you guys my eucalyptus in just a second. Sorry, I've just been standing here. I'm going to start moving and show you guys stuff. Just one second. Holly is native to Ireland. Yes, and there's native holly all over the woods here. It's American holly. I'm forgetting the name of it. Is it Ilex opaca? Is that the English holly or American? It's called American holly. Yeah. There's native holly here, but these ones are not. These are like English holly. There's two different species here. I don't know which these are, but I believe this is English holly, and then I don't know what that is. But we have two different species of holly here. So there's native and non-native holly. As is the case with a lot of plants. There's native versions, native species, non-native species. Do you own a Bulgarian trachea? I do not. I know they're hardier, so I would love to get one. This is my trachea. So far as I'm aware, it's just a Trichocarpus fortunei. It could be a Bulgarian. I don't believe it is. This is the one. It's sort of been stunted because I planted it in December of last year. Not a great idea, so it took a little bit of a beating last winter. But yeah, this is my trachea, and I don't believe it's a Bulgarian, but I would love to get one. My goal is next. I was going to do this earlier, but it got later and later towards winter, and I'm just like, I should wait till spring. I'm gonna get my goal is to get like a 5 or 6 foot trachea. I made a whole video on it, and some people gave me some great suggestions of like nurseries to order from. But yeah, my goal is to get one of those Bulgarian tracheas, and yeah, either Bulgarian or some sort of trachea, and like a 5 or 6 foot one, and put it in the front of my yard. I would love to have that. Oh yeah, southern magnolias get huge. This is like the northernmost city that you'll find tons of huge southern magnolias. There's one at the end of my street. Oh yeah, they get like 80 feet here. They're huge. This is like a southern city in terms of southern magnolias. They're everywhere. I love southern magnolias. That's actually my neighbor's southern magnolia right there. It's a younger one. Yeah, I really love them. They're so cool. They're in LA. They're in Hawaii. They're on all sorts of tropical places. They're really just awesome evergreen trees. Love them. Great broadleaf evergreens. That's all. You have Bulgarian. That's awesome, Dara. Yeah, they're super hardy. I mean, all Trichocarpus are bulletproof pretty much in your climate in Ireland. Last winter was ridiculously mild. Oh yeah, it's really mild here. Is that really? Jeez, that is unbelievable. Pygmy dates and Bismarckia there. That is crazy. Yeah, you know, I heard of this like service. I think it's a kind of stupid idea. It was in like St. Louis, and they like every like spring they transplant mature like 20-30 foot queen palms. You can find the video of it on YouTube. To St. Louis, people plant them and then they die in the winter and then they replace them. I think it's so stupid. Just plant a track, you give it a little protection, or plant a needle palm in Sable Minor, and they're pretty much bulletproof in St. Louis. But yeah, some people put like 30-foot queen palms, and apparently the guy said one winter the queen palms, like they've been doing this at a lot of locations. It's becoming popular in St. Louis apparently, and one winter the big queen palms actually made it through the winter. I find that like unbelievable. This is like a 6A 6B city, St. Louis, Missouri, and the queen palms, 30-foot queen palms, actually made it. I mean, imagine with a little protection in like a couple mile winters. That's just crazy. It's hard to believe. If I plant one female Washingtonia, I think Washingtonia are monoecious, meaning that there are no male and female. They're asexual, so they reproduce asexually. So they produce one palm will produce both male and female flowers, and then they'll pollinate each other. So you only need one palm to produce seed. Correct me if I'm wrong. I may be wrong. The Washingtonia don't grow here, so I'm not as knowledgeable about their reproduction. But I believe you just need one to produce seed. And yeah, I mean, if it's a small palm, it's going to take a while for them to produce seed. But they're very fast growers. I mean, Washingtonia robusta will grow 3 feet in an ideal climate. So they're awesome. Anyways, by the Boathouse Restaurant, right on the water. Boathouse Restaurant, but on the water. Okay. Yeah, I like to know the location, because at some point I want to take a trip out there, because there's some really cool palms. And yeah, I'll definitely, if I ever go to Bethany or Rehoboth or Ocean City, I'm going to do a trip up there at some point. I would love to. I will check that out, because that is super. I'm so surprised to hear a Pindo's there. Although I'm surprised to hear they're there. I'm not surprised that they could theoretically be there. In terms of like climate wise, so it's just awesome to hear that people are planting them. That's super cool. I believe they're planted in the last year. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It'll be interesting. Yeah, definitely keep me updated. Keep us updated on how they fare through this and like next winter. And yeah, really, you should make a video on them. I really want to see that. I have a eucalyptus blue gum. That's awesome, Dara. Yeah, there's like 100-foot eucalyptus blue gums or more in California. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they do in Ireland. I bet they do well there. That's so cool. I love eucalyptus blue gum. Enjoy the big stiff leaves and cold. Yes, exactly. Exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, you're trying to try Trachycarpus Bulgarian. They're awesome. Omega 333. Great to hear from you, by the way. Where in France are you, by the way? Because France has some incredible climates. That's awesome. Collected every Trachycarpus palm. That's really cool. Wow. Every species, like Nanus, Martianus, you have all those? Or every like Fortuna, you're saying? Because there's some really rare there's like, I think Trachycarpus nanus, is that the one that's like grows like to less than 3 feet or something? It's like the maximum height is like 3 feet. They call it like a dwarf. No, I don't know what they call it. The dwarf windmill palm is Trachycarpus wagnerianus, that one. But yeah, that's really interesting. Oh yeah. Southern Magnolia, it absolutely, it is such an underappreciated tree. So tropical looking, and it's evergreen, which is the greatest thing about it. And it's just so gorgeous. When you look up into the canopy of a Southern Magnolia, it feels like you're in like a tropical rainforest, because the canopy is like so wide. I love Southern Magnolias. I love them. I heard they planted queen palms in Missouri. Oh yeah, it is stupid. It's super stupid. Plant like a hardy palm. It's so weird. Like at least plant, exactly. Yeah. Plant a smaller one. I think it's just, you know what? I love palms and I love zone pushing. What I don't love is planting like a tropical palm, like what they do in Ocean City, where they plant hundreds, thousands actually, in fact. They plant thousands, and in Rehoboth, they'll plant thousands and thousands of coconuts and queen palms. Never will they survive there, especially coconuts would never, ever make it through a winter there. And they all die every winter. They're pretty much never removed. They just put them through the winter. And these hotels are spending thousands and thousands of dollars a year replacing coconut palms, and then they look horrible in winter. So they're just paying thousands to have palms die every winter and replace them, when they could be planting Trachycarpus fortunae and maybe even palmetto, and have actually a really good chance of having them survive. If you planted 20 Trachycarpus fortunae in like Ocean City, Maryland, I mean, those things got to be, they're hardy palms. They can make it really well there. I've seen pictures of some big ones there. It's really stupid, yeah. The queen palms in Lewis, Delaware. Yes, I've seen that. Really? They don't die some years? That is so interesting. I wonder, like in Virginia Beach, like I've seen them there. I wonder like how often they don't die there, because that's even warmer. That is really interesting. I've definitely seen that place. Like there's a seashell shop. There's all sorts of places. Yeah. The seashell shop, exactly. Yeah. I know a lot of the locations, and there's like Jamaica something in Ocean City where they plant all the coconuts, and all the Marriott, Hyatt, all the hotels plant them. That's interesting though. I'm surprised to hear they make it through even any winter. It's just crazy. Planting southern magnolia brackens. Wow. 7A in France. Where in France is it 7A? Are you more inland France? Like, are you near Belgium, or I don't know, near Italy, or where exactly in France are you? Near Germany or something? Like in the eastern part of the country? Because 7A is pretty cold for France. 7A is like where we are here. 7A, this is 7A, 7B. But yeah, that's awesome. Southern magnolias are super rare outside of the U.S. Super rare in Europe, or at least, yeah, they're pretty rare. It's like a sable. Sables are really rare in Europe. But that is awesome. That is awesome. Definitely, I can't wait to hear about that. I hate what Ocean City does. I know. Virginia Beach is incredible. How the city plants so many palms. You know, I went there and it was just, I was blown away. It's like Columbia, South Carolina, just full of palms, and it's so much further north. It's so cool. That's awesome. My next palm to collect is the sables. Yes, Dara, definitely. And pretty much all sables will make it where you are. Like Sable Mexicana, that'd be interesting to see. Yes, exactly. My goal is to have every single palm in one garden. And I would love to live in Southern California. That's my dream. Live in Southern California and collect every single palm. Now, unless you have some sort of greenhouse or something, which I don't plan on having, that is basically impossible. In fact, people would say it's literally impossible. I think maybe there's some sort of crazy workaround you could do. Like maybe build a greenhouse around one of the palms. But the reason is because, here, I'll finish reading your guys' comments and then I'll talk about this, because I think it's really interesting to talk about, and I always wondered. My next, French Alps. Wow, 950 meters. It's like 3,000 feet. That's crazy. Wow. That's really cool. Yeah, French Alps. So you must be like are you near like the Italian border? You're like Mont Blanc. It's super cool out there. There's like skiing and all sorts of stuff up in the Alps. France is incredible. I really need to visit. I've been to Italy. I've been to Portugal. I have family in Portugal, and we have friends in the UK. So I've been to London and the surrounding regions. But France is amazing. That is so cool. He could be in Brittany. Yes, exactly. But south, warm summers. Okay, yeah, that's awesome. I bet there's more humidity up there in the Alps than there is like down by the coast, or at least like in the south. Because in the south, like in south near Spain and everything, it's almost like desert down there. We're Mediterranean climate. That's like where Camerops humilis grows wild. I have at the moment Sable minor and palmetto. Awesome, yeah. I have palmetto in about 40 Sable palmetto seedlings in a pot, in like 6 pots, and I'm going to be planting them after the winter. And I think it's going to be an interesting experiment. I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. I'm going to plant maybe some here. I'm going to, I don't know if you guys see, but we have this interesting, it's actually like really cool, kind of, because it's like bonsai'd. It's like a bonsai'd Japanese maple, because it's in this like restricted potter. So I was thinking about maybe putting like a couple seedlings in there, because, you know, I don't exactly want to bonsai them, but I doubt they'll actually get big enough to actually fill that thing up. But who knows? I hope so. I bet you if I planted, let's say we had an average winter, not a mild, not a bad winter, just an average winter, like talking winter after this winter, and I plant my palmetto the spring before, so this coming spring, and then they have a whole season to become established, I bet you more than half of them would actually make it. That's my guess, because, you know, they can make it here. When mature sables are transplanted here, so they're not as hardy because they haven't become established, they make it here for a couple winters. So I bet you a lot of them will make it at least their first winter. That's my guess. Palmetto is starting to fan out. That's awesome, Dara. I love palmetto. And again, you go down to Virginia Beach where I collected mine from. The palmettos there are just completely nuts. I mean, they're like 40 feet palmettos. I mean, it's crazy. There's such cool palms. And when I went to Huntington Gardens in Southern California, the palmettos there were amazing. It's Sable Mexicana. They have huge sables there, which are really rare in Southern California. It was so cool. Anyways, I want to talk about, so yeah, what I was going to mention was that why you know, it's pretty much impossible to grow every palm in one garden. And you think, well, you could just go to a tropical climate, or you could go to somewhere like Saudi Arabia or like the southern tip of the Baja Peninsula, which is warmer. Both of those places are warmer than Southern California because it's an arid climate. So, you know, it's better for like the dry climate palms. But it's also so warm that you have coconuts everywhere. Now, the problem with that is a couple of those colder climate palms, like One of the biggest problems is a palm called Juania australis, which is from the Juan Fernandez, is it the Juan Fernandez something archipelago off of Chile, and it is native to such a small area on these islands that it is so temperature sensitive. There's some huge ones near Dublin in Ireland, and they're incredibly tropical looking palms, much more so than Trachycarpus. So Dara, you should try it's called Juania australis, australis, even though it's not from Australia. They do really well in Ireland. There's a couple of them in the Bay Area of California. They're very specific to the microclimates they like. But elsewhere they just will not tolerate it. It says on palms for California that people have tried them in Southern California and they've never been successful. It's too hot there. They actually need that cool season. So who knows? Maybe I could try one and put ice on the soil around it or something like that. I don't know. That would be really hard. And then Certostachys, some Licala species, all those tropical palms are hard to grow in Southern California. A lot of tropical palms do well, but those ultra tropical palms. So it's hard, but that's my goal, to grow every palm in one garden. Anyways, yeah, it'd be extremely hard and extremely costly, but who knows? Maybe it could be done. They say it's impossible. Do you mean yes? It's Juania, I'm pretty sure, but that's it. They're very hard to find because they're endangered in the wild. But there's this garden. Just look up Juania australis, Ireland. There's this garden near Dublin where they have one. It's about 30 feet. I think it was planted in the 90s or something like that, and maybe in the 80s. And it is. I literally could not believe it when I first saw it. I've seen this picture of a 60-foot Phoenix canariensis in the south of Ireland. That was nuts. Seeing a giant phoenix in Ireland is just crazy because it's so far north. But Juania australis, I think, is definitely the most tropical palm, tropical looking palm. It's not at all a tropical palm. It's a subtropical, but definitely the most tropical looking palm you can grow in Ireland, in my opinion. It would never grow here, too cold, without protection. It's very temperature specific. There's some huge ones in the Bay Area, but the one near Dublin, look up a picture of it. It is so tropical looking. It looks like a Christmas palm, sort of. Last I remember, it's been, a year since I've seen a picture of it, but yeah, it's a super, super cool palm. I love Juania australis. I wish we could grow them. Virginia Beach would be an interesting place to try it. That would actually be interested. Winters probably a bit colder than Ireland. Summers are a lot hotter though, so you have a lot of that heat. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Anyways, yeah, I'll give you guys an actual tour. I've just been talking this whole time. Hope you guys aren't bored. But yeah, anyways, these are, you guys might be able to see them. These are all of my Sable Minor seedlings. I counted them. There's probably about 50 or so here. And I'll zoom in there. Look at all those. Those are all Sable Minor seedlings. And by the way, those grasses over there, that's Liriope. So the way you can tell is Liriope is dark green and it bends over, versus Sable Minor. Here's a more mature one here. Sable Minor have that silvery blue tinge, and they also have these. You can see the bigger one here. They have these strap leaf, which is these lines and these ridges that go along the leaflet here, which makes them distinguishable from Liriope. I'll show you here. You can see. Sorry, it's kind of. Here you can see the strap leaf there versus Liriope there. Very different looking, but yeah, there's tons of seedlings here. Yeah, these are all Sable Minor seedlings that these I scattered around in the middle of winter last winter, and they all made it, and they all germinated. It was super cool. A lot of them germinated. But yeah, you can see how many are here next to my Fortuna here. Yeah, you can see just how many are here. Then we got a couple over here. There's 3 over here. This one got sort of chewed up, but it's still living. My one in the front kind of disappeared. There's one, and there's one there. All right, so those are my Sable Minor, naturalized Sable Minor. Again, we got Trachycarpus fortunae, of course, common. You'll see some mature ones in the area. Wagnerianus, there's only one mature one that I know of in the area. There might be 3, actually, 2 or 3, but there's one at the Botanic Garden, which I've yet to see. Like I said, it's still closed, but they're slightly less hardy, so I've heard, than Fortunae. So a mature one here is incredibly rare. And yeah, we'll just have to see about mine. This is the hardiest Trachycarpus palm of all, supposedly, although they haven't done many tests on it because it's so rare. This is my, this is sort of the pride and joy of my backyard, I guess you could say. I don't know. Front yard's got some interesting stuff, but my backyard, this is definitely my pride and joy. This is Trachycarpus tequil. Unfortunately, something snapped this, but you can see this frond looks nothing like a Fortunae frond. I mean, it's got that very Camerops-like look. It's got thin leaflets. It's, you know, I mean, the number of the leaflets here, these like ridges come together is so many more than on Fortunae. And this palm is my biggest in the back here. Got this from Pungo Palms as well. I think it was like 40 bucks, just like my needle palm. Those are the most expensive ones. So 40 bucks for a palm like this. Again, it was a tiny bit smaller when I got it last spring, but that's a steal for a palm like this. Tequil is so rare. I mean, look at that frond. Just gorgeous. Love it. Love it. So that's a really rare palm, and I've never ever heard of one here. I've actually never heard of a non-Fortunae or Wagnerianus trachy here. I've never heard of Martianus, Latticectus, or any of those, because, I mean, you're sort of gambling with those ones, because, I don't know, they're probably a little less hardy than Fortunae, and what was I going to say? Dead leaves. All those dead leaves are a gift from God. Exactly, and those dead leaves are what I put around. Yeah, by the way, those dead leaves are a gift, and I'm gonna put them, like, smother my palms in dead leaves to sort of insulate them a little bit. I was gonna give a little mulch, but I don't have much mulch, so I'm just gonna do leaves, I think. Kells Bay. Yes, Kells Bay. I think that's the place. Yes, you should try one. If you can get your hands on some seeds, Dara, definitely try one. Juania australis are great palms for your climate. Pisami, 1981, how are you? Great to see you here. I'm just here in my front garden. This is in Montgomery County, Maryland, zone 7A7B, and all is well here. How are you? How's the weather? Where are you? Yeah, where are you? What's your location and climate? So disabled palmetto, yes. All those, James Tropicals, great to see you in here. Thanks for joining. Great as always to see you here. I have 10 or 12 Trachycarpus waggy. Wow, 10 or 12, Jesus. I only have one, but they're awesome palms. I got mine from Pungo Palms Nursery in Virginia Beach, Virginia. That's about the only place north of the southeast, or north of, like, yeah, north of the subtropics that you'll, I mean, it is the subtropics, but yeah, basically that's the northernmost place probably you'll find a tequil, and probably one of the only places in the East Coast you'll find one. They're incredibly rare. They probably won't sell them further south because they're better for colder climates. They certainly won't sell them further north. So that's probably, could be the only palm nursery in the East that actually has a true tequil. But they're incredibly rare, and the guy had a few of them. That was by far his biggest. Sold it to me for 40 bucks. Really nice of him. And yeah, they're really rare. So Pungo Palms Nursery in Virginia Beach, Virginia. It's out in like rural Virginia Beach, out in the woods. The guy said he's seen naturalized or potentially wild sable minor there in the woods. Again, it's like it's a rural area, so his everything he's selling is super cheap. The palms are super cheap. It's really just such a great place. I wonder if tequila is really more hardy than the others. Yeah, supposedly it is. Supposedly it's hardy to like -3, maybe, and whereas Fortunae is hardy to about 0. Again, that's very cold for very short amounts of time, but supposedly a couple degrees harder than Fortunae. Seattle, Washington weather sucks. Oh, you're Seattle. Well, you know what? I for one like the rain. Actually, some people get depressed by it, find it gloomy. I love rainy weather. Second of all, I'd gladly take Seattle over DC. I think in terms of the climate. You know, maybe you'll have less luck with, maybe sables won't do quite as well there. I mean, they'll certainly grow well, but maybe they won't grow as fast as they do here, like sable minor, but you can grow much wider array of things because it's certainly milder. So be glad you can grow all this. You know, tracking is bulletproof. Jubea, Phoenix canariensis, a bit of a zone push there. Yeah. Hundreds of Trachycarpus and date palm seedlings. Wow. Date palm seedlings, really? That's crazy. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen your Trachycarpus seedlings. That is so cool, Jared. That's like what I have. And I've actually been in the woods at my local park, and the seedlings are starting to pop up there, which is super cool. 400 seeds from Gary Gregg. Ah, yes, I know Gary. Yeah. I watched Gary's videos, and he just sold his giant Jubeas, by the way. That was super sad. But, yeah, he's a great guy, and that's awesome. Which seeds? Which species? Tequil? Because 400 seeds of tequil, that's incredibly rare. Tequil's super rare in the wild. That's usually why palms are so rare in the market, is that they're rare in the wild. Tequil is more hardy, but hates the wet A single rain ruins it. Wow. Huh, interesting. So it likes to snow more. Yeah, well, either way, I'm going to be covering mine with about like 2 feet of leaf litter. So hopefully it'll make it. I'm sure it will, but you know, I just to be safe, I'll give it some little leaf litter. It's the least I can do. And then probably maybe C9 Christmas lights once it gets a little more of a distinguished trunk. In winter. Yeah, in winter, of course. You can grow a ridiculous array of plants. Oh, yeah. You can grow everything in Seattle. Huge camerops, I forgot to mention. Again, they're not hardy here. They're marginal probably here. I'm thinking protecting mine below 20, maybe 20, below 20 Fahrenheit. Although maybe if I have like 3 days that are like 20, I'm going to be putting some protection over. I was going to just sort of instinctively, maybe come December, put like a plastic bag over it to keep the moisture out. Now I'm thinking maybe below 20. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because it didn't get below 20 really at all last winter. And this thing was out in a pot most of the winter and it did fine. Do you guys think I should protect it below 20 or 25? Or is there a certain temperature I should protect it below? Or do you just think I should, just to be safe, just come December or late November, just put a plastic bag over it just to be safe? Should I just protect it only below a certain temperature, or just do that to be safe? What do you guys think? I always appreciate you guys' advice because you guys know a lot about palms, and I love that. Tequila, wow, 400 tequila seeds. Jesus, better be careful with those. That's it's a rare crop. That's really cool. Gary just makes some awesome. Oh yeah, his videos are great. I love his video. He has more palms and properties than I can wrap my. He's got a ton of stuff, and his demonstration garden is pretty neat. And I'm really sad to see those giant jubaeas go from his garden. He sold them off. But that new, what was it? What did he put in? He put it was one of those coconut, like pseudo coconuts. I don't know which. What was it again? I'm forgetting the genus now. That he put in, but that's really cool. It's like a mountain coconut. Yeah, Parajubea, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, the Parajubea is pretty gorgeous, though. Pretty good replacement, I think. You guys got to watch Gary Gregg's Saving Judy. I don't think I've ever seen that. Sounds interesting, though. I will have to check that out. Trachycarpus. Oh, you have Princeps. That's awesome. I have no other species besides Fortunae and Wagnerianus. Yeah, that's a good idea. And I've had it in the ground. I planted it like pretty much the same time, maybe even a bit earlier than my other palms, so probably like March or something. You can check my video out of me planting it. Actually, I planted it. Forced to be some English ivy here, very invasive species. Here's my needle palm, by the way. This thing is doing well. Pleased to report. It could put out a few more fronds. It was doing a little browning, but. And these are completely bulletproof here, hardiest palm in the world. This thing I need to bring inside soon. This is my lady palm. This is Rapis excelsa. I'm gonna be digging that up probably later today or tomorrow or something. Yeah, this thing has just put out its first mature frond. It's got 4 leaflets on it, so super cool. But yeah, I will protecting it probably below 20. I'm thinking, oh, there's a spider. Parajubea, yep. I have Dysonia. Wow. Yes. I saw a picture of that. Those are. So that is super cool. I don't know if any tree ferns that are actually will make it here. They're, yeah, they're not great for our climate, unfortunately. Top of that eucalyptus there. But yeah. Saving Juby. Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. Yes. Oh yeah, I watched that one of him using the crane. That was That was super nuts. That was really crazy. He, yeah, that Jubea was crazy. You guys will love it. Definitely watch. Yeah. Watch Gary Gregg's videos. That's not a bad palm. Also, not too small. He got a pretty good sized one, so not bad. Not a bad replacement. But that was sad to see that Jubea go, because they're great for the Bay Area. It's great climate for them. I want to try a Jubea. I think more so marginal at best, but you know what? It's worth a try if I can get my hands on one. I saw the guy at Pungo Palms Nursery. He got some Jubea seeds and he literally just scattered them around his yard. He's like, I guess he just maybe just like, oh, it's useless, or I don't want to try growing them. So he just took the seeds, threw them in his yard, and one of them sprouted and grew. And now next to his greenhouse, I could not it's like a, or it's, you know, it's pretty big. Yeah, those are some of the coolest palms, Jubea. I really love them. Let me see this. How's everything in Ontario? How's the weather, by the way? I think but it's probably about 60 right now here, 60 Fahrenheit. Oh, weak internet connection, huh? Breaking up a bit. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah. Yard sounds worse than. I will try to go back. Let's go see. Oh, hopefully it's a little better now. Yeah, let me know if the connection gets better or worse, if it's okay. Sorry, I have bad English, but I have to go. Be sure to know tricarpus. Yes. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Tricarpus tequila is the hardiest palm, except for needle palm and sable minor. It is pretty much the third hardiest palm, at least in a wet climate. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. Your English is very good, by the way, and I really appreciate you joining in Omega 333. It's great to see you here, and I appreciate it as always. You are super knowledgeable about palms, and you got such an interesting climate up there in the French Alps. I always like, it's just so interesting, those mountain climates up there. I really love that. So neat, and thanks for sharing everything, and great to have you here. So yeah, Sandor, great to see you in here. 16 yes, great to see you in here. 16 Celsius, 60 Fahrenheit. It's like exactly the same as here. I don't know what it is here. You guys can check the DC weather. It's my guess is about 60. It's always about a degree colder where I am than DC, as the high. Or usually as the low. Sometimes interestingly it'll get a little bit warmer during the day, because the riverfront moderates the temperature, so it's, you know, a bit higher lows and a bit lower highs. So sometimes it'll be a degree higher for the high here, but it'll almost always be a degree lower for the low. And where I am, it just shows what microclimates do. That's why the trekking's done so well at the Smithsonian Castle and at the Air and Space Museum. You know, a couple degrees can make all the difference. Anyways, yeah, this is one of those. I scattered them back there where my other palms are, and squirrel something took the seed back here, dropped it down here, and sure enough, it's been growing, and it was just raked over, unfortunately, but it's still growing well, and yeah, it looks great. So that's a sable minor seed, and just shows that scattering the seeds around really does work. I'd say I had an incredible number, like percentage-wise. Germination rate was just crazy. I mean, all these seedlings here. Look at all the sable minor. I mean, look at how many seedlings there are. And again, these seedlings, people said I need to protect them. I'm going to put leaves over just to help the trackies out and stuff. But these things, I mean, you see them. There's like probably 10 garden beds in the city where you'll have naturalized sable minor. And the seedlings persist year after year. They will not be killed. Maybe in an awful winter they get some damage. I've never seen that, but these are really tough palms. Yeah, that's good weather, Sandor, by the way. That's 60 Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's it definitely could be colder this time of year, so I'm glad to see that. 33 Fahrenheit, 32 when it got that cold here. It was cold. Reminded me why I hate winter. Sandor, did your fern spores very interesting. Works with trichocarpus here. Wow, interesting. fern spores, huh? What kind of fern? Are the tree ferns? That's really interesting. Anyways, guys, yeah, all is well here. I can't complain. The weather's pretty good so far. You know, I'm always a little bit anxious for winter, but you know, it's not until like January that I actually need to be the slightest bit worried. These trackies, you know, I'm not so worried unless it's a really bad winter. You know, I'm gonna put some leaf litter there, help them out, and yeah, these are tough palms, so I'm not worried. There's all these seedlings. Where? Look at how many seedlings are there. So many seedlings. That's awesome. Yeah, awesome. Wonder what that would do here. Is that like hardy to like zone 8 or something? I bet, you know, I'm sure it would need some protection here, but that's really interesting. I've always wondered how tree ferns would do here. You know, they sell Australian tree ferns. Was it Dixonia Antarctica? It might have been Antarctica that they sell. They actually have them at my local garden center. It's just they're like $100 and something, just super expensive. But I found that really interesting. It was being sold in like the indoor section. Guessing that doesn't mean it's meant for outdoors, but you never know. It's interesting. Might as well, by the way, while I'm here, I'll show you guys something. This is this office building back here. This is my dad used to actually run his business in here before, but this is like I have like a little model railroad here that I've been working on for a while. That I got from my aunt and uncle after they died. This is their old stuff. And we got that, so super cool old train posters, dome liners, City of St. Louis and Cajun Pass, California. Lots of cool stuff here. It's Detroit right there. That's like Detroit, Windsor, Ontario, right there. Some super cool old posters. You can see I have this this railroad here. Unfortunately, these tracks sort of gotta fix that, but you know, I got a little more work to do. But I've been sort of working on this for a while, and I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. I think it looks all right. I think it's yeah. I got this set when I was 7. We put this table in the basement, and I just sort of ran the trains on the tracks on like the bare table. And back then it was just a flat wooden. And then yeah, I got it when I was 7, and you know, more than like it's taken a long time for me to work on this. I know I did it in steps. I bought the foam, and so basically the table's actually this is the table level, and then everything on top of here. So literally everything you're seeing here, even the lowest level with this artificial water here in the creek, that's all on top of foam. And then this higher level is all foam. So I just sort of sculpted it into this shape. And yeah, I put like cliffs in here. You can see the cliffs there. And I still have a little bit of work to do with that, but purchased a lot of buildings on eBay and stuff. eBay is great, by the way. You know, people say Amazon has everything. For the stuff I'm interested in, palms, palm postcards, stuff like that, model railroad, and like all the railroad stuff, eBay is so much better. eBay has a lot more. I was actually really surprised. eBay just has everything. It's like sort of more of an antiques market, and then Amazon's more of just like a modern stuff, I guess, technology and stuff like that. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff on eBay. I'll show you guys all the trains. These ones I got from an antique store in Ellicott City, Maryland, which is actually has the oldest continually operating train station, I think, in the country. And then this I got for my birthday. Got all these trains here. I have some old streetcars and stuff. I actually, by the way, I haven't told you guys this, but I volunteered at the Trolley Museum. I'm a huge rail enthusiast, and I love a bunch of old trolley lines that used to run through DC, and they have the old streetcars actually preserved at the museum. You guys can look it up. It's probably about a half hour. Actually, it's more. It's probably like 45 minutes outside of the heart of DC. It's about a half hour from where I live, and it's a great. Yeah, I've driven the streetcars there. I don't have my license yet to drive. tours there. I'm a docent, and it's just a great local railroad museum. So this is sort of my streetcar line here that goes along the road. Got this, and I sculpted in here. I was pleased with how it turned out. I still need to get some of the stuff off the tracks, but this is the eventually I have a train coming out of the tunnel. And this I bought online. It's an antique. This is an antique. I think this is super cool. It's like an antique. This is called the Red Car from LA. This is the old famous LA streetcar called the Red Car. And that's super cool. I've got a lot of model people here that I'm gonna actually end up putting in. I have another station, which I haven't used. Yeah, I'll go show you. I try to get I want to get the right palms. It was hard to find Washingtonia. Most of them were coconuts. These, I assume, are supposed to be date palms. They look like Phoenix, so I just assume they were either Dactylifera or Canariensis. So I guess this is supposed to be some town up in, some small town in California somewhere, maybe in like the foothills up north of LA or something. I don't exactly know. Obviously, it's all made up, but it's supposed to be somewhere in California with all the date palms and stuff. So got a little town square here. Let me adjust that. Yeah, this is the town square here. Got some oaks, some live oaks and stuff. This is a Seattle. So if you're in the area, come. It's a great place, great little museum. But well worth the drive. Trucks and stuff. My birthday. I got actually a lot of these, pretty much all these for my birthday. DSX. Stuff like that. A super. Maybe I was 10 or 11. This is the Acela, which is super cool. One of these is actually, yeah, it's this one. This one's like electronic. It's super light. Supposedly an engine, but it only runs from one side. And then this one's Amtrak. This is the one I'm going to have coming out of the tunnel. Anyways, a little tour. Don't want to bore you guys, but yeah, just a little tour of my railroad. We got like a little art studio upstairs. I've just been thinking about making some palm paintings. I'm not a great artist, but I wanted to go a little bit into painting and maybe do some palm painting. So always got, some ideas on the books, and yeah, train table still has some work to go, but yeah, just wanted to show you guys that. Northeast is supposed to get a lot. Oh, I heard. Yeah, DC. It said like DC snow hole or something. Someone posted like a report for the winter of the continent. I was not pleased to see that, but yeah, supposedly it's supposed to get a lot of snow. You know what? Snow insulates the palms. So if it's 25, 30 and snowy, I don't mind it. If it's below 25 or below 20 and snowy, then that's when I start to mind it. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I give my Dixonia Antarctica 0 protection. That's awesome, Dara. Yeah, tree ferns do so well in your climate. You have a model train. That's awesome. That's awesome, Dara. Yeah. You should make a video of it. I really want to see that. I should make a video on mine when I complete it. I will. But I really want to see that, Dara. That's so cool. What model is your mine is HO scale. So everything there is HO scale. There's a bunch of different scales. I think like N or Z is the smallest, and then it's like G is the biggest or something like that. It's like HO, I think O is bigger, and then it goes up to G, and then down to like Z. I think Z is the smallest, and then N. They're like really tiny. Like a Z scale of what I have would be like the size of this little rectangle here. I mean, they're tiny. I love those little scales. Actually, I think like something about it is like a Z scale train is super cool. And then there's some I think it's like G scales, like what I would love to have someday is like one of those outdoor sets. I don't know if you've seen everything. They have like waterproof trains. Well, they have like tracks going in the ground, and people can actually have like an outdoor railroad. I always thought that was super cool. Mine is HO. Yep, HO. That's what mine is. HO gauge. The landscape is OO. OO. Is that must be similar to HO. Yeah. That's just like mine. HO is like the most common beginner set. That's what I got, and I think it's probably the best. It's probably the best one. HO is just a great. It's like not too big, not too small. I love HO scale. It's great. Anyways, guys, I've been going for a little over an hour. I'm probably gonna end it, but yeah, great to see you guys on here. I know I've been doing a lot of my recent live streams at my, thank you, Sandra, by the way, I appreciate that. And I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the trains, seeing the palms. And yeah, what was I gonna say? I've been doing a lot of live streams from my home. I haven't done that many live streams, but I hope to, my next live stream or some future live stream, either do it from the Arboretum or from the National Mall or from somewhere we can actually walk around and look at a lot more palms than just what I have. So good. DC has great internet connection pretty much throughout. Here, my eucalyptus cinerea, like it's like almost purplish at the top where those new leaves emerge. Really cool. Disease, this hole here, this is it had like a disease in it. Unfortunately, we had to cut it down. It was an 110-foot. Just shows you how fast they grow. And yeah, it would have ended up falling at some point. We had to cut it. Really sad, but yeah, you know what? It is, and I gotta that this thing's just falling over my bunch of Himafusa. Look how far that frond is. Yeah, once I trim this stuff away, my camera ops will look a lot bigger. That. So you can see, it's actually a lot bigger than it looks. The bushes there, but yeah, so I'm thinking maybe I'm not just going to instinctively protect it, as I don't want to keep it like wrapped over the whole winter, or like to more rotting, which is exactly what I'm trying to prevent. 20 or maybe below 22 or anything above that, it'll probably be fine. Like I said, it didn't actually get below 20, I don't think, at all last winter, so yeah. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Old as that Tequil. The one in my backyard, that's Tequil. This is Camerops humilis, the Mediterranean or European fan palm. The hardiest. It's the northernmost palm in the world that grows wild. Yeah, great species for colder climates. One of my favorite palms. And you know, something like a big Camerops humilis just looks so good. So hopefully one day mine will actually be, which is good to report. But yeah, I just love Camerops. Really great species. All right, take care. As always, just great having you. And it's so great to see. Take care. Enjoy the palms, enjoy the weather, and let's hope and pray for a mild winter. Hey, Jacob Gonzalez, just closing. See you guys in here, and yeah, thanks for watching.